Your information station, WTIM.
You are listening to WTIM, your information station. This is the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host, and thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We are live on Facebook at Taylorville Daily News and on YouTube at WTIM TV. In studio, we have Matt Hart, Executive Director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. How are you today, Matt?
Tim, I am great. Always great to be with you and your listeners on a beautiful day in Christian County.
Absolutely. Always great to have you in. And you've been a busy man out there, and there's plenty of things to see across Christian County. So we're going to get into it all today.
Absolutely. It is a busy time, a lot going on. Of course, we're in the middle of harvest, so there's a lot going on with the harvest. You can see that everywhere, but there's a lot of other things going on as well. Yeah, very, very busy.
Absolutely. Site selector meeting in Chicago. This is a big one, and I'm glad our Christian County Economic Development Corporation was out there. Yeah. What did we learn? What did you find out at this?
Yeah, so I thought it'd be good to just fill folks in on some of the things of the CCEDC, the Christian County Economic Development Corporation, some of the work that we do behind the scenes, because that's what our organization does. It's you'll see us when we have a groundbreaker and we have a major announcement, but there's 95% of the time it's the work that we're doing behind the scenes, and part of that was something that we did last month. I was lucky enough to go to a meeting in downtown Chicago. Beautiful building overlooking the Chicago River and the whole entire northern city, the north half of the city. But in this room there were probably about 40 other economic development corporations from across the state gathering to talk and to network. But also this meeting was hosted by Intersect Illinois, which is the state's marketing arm for marketing companies to come to Illinois. And their interim CEO was moderating this panel, but we had several site selectors there. And I know some people are saying, what's a site selector? So there are companies that their entire business is just looking for sites for companies to build. Maybe it's an auto manufacturing plant. Maybe it's a small manufacturer. Maybe it's distribution and warehouse. But they hire companies that all their job is to know where are the places where you can build your company, so that when a company comes to them and says, I'm looking for 50 acres with water, with rail service, with highway access, that maybe has an existing building, doesn't have an existing building, where are those sites? And so that's what these site selectors do. But we spent the afternoon talking with these national site selectors to, number one, learn what they are looking for in their site, but then also, number two, it gives us an opportunity to promote our county to them. And that's exactly what I did on behalf of Christian County was to, number one, was to learn and network, but also to talk with some of these site selectors and ask them, hey, we're doing this in Christian County. Are we going down the right path? We've got, an industrial park in Taylorville. We've got an industrial park in Pana. What can we do to better market those? And also to get Christian County on their radar as well. So it was a very valuable afternoon. It was hosted by the Illinois Economic Development Association, which we're part of. It's because so much of economic development is just relationships. And Christian County, obviously is in the center of the state, but we need to have those relationships with people in Chicago, in New York, in Denver, because you never know when someone's going to be looking for some, a facility that's in central Illinois. Maybe they want to be close to another manufacturing facility in Decatur or in Springfield or in St. Louis. And so that was the purpose of that. But it's good to know that Christian County Economic Development Corporation is there in what they do.
Absolutely. And this is the place, as you've been saying, this is the meeting to attend for economic development corporations out there. We're happy that Christian County was represented there, and when we learned some things. What did we learn about our cities here?
Yeah, so there's three big takeaways for me as the head of economic development for the county from this meeting, the site selector meeting. Number one is that unity matters. Okay. When a company is looking to move to your city or your town or your county, they want to know that the public and private sector is all on the same page. They want to know that if they come here, that they're going to get assistance in getting their permits filed, that they're going to have highway access. Maybe if we need to make some improvements to roads or improvements to water or improvements to utilities, that all of those entities are working together. And that's a reason we have the Christian County Economic Development Corporation, because all of those people are at the table every month when we meet and we're discussing, who it is that's looking at coming to town, what it is that they're looking for, are, can we make sure we have all those things lined up for them? So unity matters. There's no doubt about it that everybody, both on the public sector and private sector, that we're all rowing in the same direction. The second thing we learned is site readiness is why communities win. And what do we mean by site readiness? That means that you've got an inventory of sites that are available. Some people are looking for an existing building when they are looking to move their facility. Some people want what we call green space, or just pretty much an empty field. Some people are wanting brown space, which is something that previously was a facility and now is not a facility, or maybe the plant was torn down. But you got to know, again, size of facility, how close you are to water, how close you are to rail, how close you are to highway. Electricity is a big one as well today, because some of this, depending on what it is that you're manufacturing, you might need a high amount of electricity. And it's our job to tell these companies, you can locate here, you've got access to electricity there. And then most importantly, it's workforce. Workforce is the number one thing that companies are looking for. And I'm very pleased to report that the site selectors said that when they're looking when they're working with companies who want to locate a business, they're looking for communities that have at least 200 to 250,000 workers within 30 miles. Lo and behold, Christian County, if you took it, and we've got this information from the U.S. Census Bureau, there's about 230,000 workers within 30 miles of Christian County.
Perfect.
So it's it makes Christian County a very attractive place for a business to locate. But we've got to have everybody working together. We've got to have that inventory of sites available so that when someone comes looking, we're ready to act, because they want to act quickly.
Absolutely. Now, in the workforce, we've talked about Christian County workforce, and that has always been a strength. And site readiness is something that can change. Talk to me about the history in Christian County of private, public. Have they been able? Have they had a successful history there? Is something that would be attractive to some?
Absolutely. And of course, you have to look no further than just drive just south of Taylorville on your way to Pana is the prison. And that's exactly why the Christian County Economic Development Corporation exists. That facility would not be there today, and those jobs wouldn't be there today were it not for the work of a group of men and women 20, 30 years ago who got together and they said, we need a Christian County Economic Development Corporation. We need everybody at the table, public sector and private sector. And that's the very reason that CCEDC was formed. We obviously got that project done, and we've employed people there for decades, but we're ready to move on to the next project. We've got a lot of great projects in the works. We've got some great employers here, and we're also equipping those employers who are already here and helping them grow as well.
The way you talk about thinking more nationally and thinking at a larger scale, when manufacturers can come in just because they want to be near another manufacturer, it really tells me that this can happen at any time. You have to be prepared.
Absolutely. So when you think about economic development, again, 95% of the manufactured goods move by truck. Okay, so we've got highway access, right? In Christian County, we've got Route 29, Route 48, Route 104, we've got Route 51. So we've got truck access, but trucks generally can go about 500 miles in a day. Sure. So anything within 500 miles of Christian County really is ripe for development if you're servicing another manufacturing facility. If you've got a manufacturing plant in, say, let's just say the Quad Cities, but you want their supplier right now is in Alabama, they want to be closer to their supplier. Christian County is well positioned to be a place for a facility like that to locate.
All really, really great things. So overall, very successful meeting that you had in Chicago there.
Yeah, it was very valuable. Again, good for us to learn more about what we're doing at CCDC, confirming that the things that we're doing are right, but also making sure we get Christian County on their radar and let them know Christian County is a great place to live and work. And I was very proud to all those site selectors knew that Christian County's got 230,000 workers within 30 miles. So hopefully that will translate into future business. But more importantly, we want everybody in the state to know Christian County is here. Christian County is here for you to grow your business.
Absolutely. We are very lucky here in the county to have all this behind the scenes, as you were talking about, all this behind the scenes work happen. As you mentioned, about 95% of this work happens behind the scenes. And then we get to see the ribbon cutting and then celebrate with you all there. So we got about a minute left in this first half right here. I'm sure you're going to talk about all these happenings, this meeting at your upcoming annual meeting with the CCEDC.
Yeah. So we're real excited. We're a week from today. We've got our annual meeting for the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. That's a meeting for all of our members and voting members, as well as some other business folks in town. Got a great lineup of speakers we're really excited about. And those speakers include, we've got Bobby Dean from CTI who is coming. We have got Lou Johnson from McLean, Derek Page, who's the mayor of Assumption. They're developing a neighborhood in subdivision in Assumption, as well as putting in a new daycare. Jeff Sloan, president of Sloan Implement, is coming. He's going to talk about the 30,000 square foot building, which we'll talk more about in a minute. But they're making some major investments in Christian County. And Ross Kirkendall, the owner of B&R Marine, he's made some major investments in Christian County. But all of those speakers are basically going to spend a little bit of time talking a little bit about their organization, but also why Christian County is a great place to build and grow your business.
It's a great lineup of speakers right there, and they're going to do a great job of pushing across that message there. And an event more for the public there and more open. We will be talking about when we come back, Economic Incentives Workshop coming back here for the CCEDC. Very excited for that. We have Matt Hart in studio, Executive Director of this great Christian County Economic Development Corporation. You've been listening to the WTIM Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. When you become a member of TCCU, you become an owner and have access to our great loan rates, earn great dividends on our deposit accounts, have access to our full range of financial products, and will receive personal attention from people you know. Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, and Shelby County. We are conveniently located in Taylorville, Hillsborough, Litchfield, and Pana. You can also visit us online at www.tccu.org. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
They're back. School is back in session. When the kids come home, give them the protein-packed flavors of Prairie Farms Grab-and-Go milks. They all provide the protein and nutrition your body needs. Grab-and-Go milks, just another way you can help your kids' nutrition and health. From the farm families of Prairie Farms Dairy to your family. Grab them in your grocery or convenience store dairy case.
Shop local first.
Think about what a huge impact local shopping has on our local economy when our money stays at home versus shopping via the internet or with the big box stores. Your dollars get turned over several times, benefiting our communities. The Miller Media Group and these local businesses encourage you to shop local first. Davis Family McDonald's, located in Taylorville, Pana, Shelbyville. I'm loving it. These local businesses and the Miller Media Group ask you to shop local first.
Shop local first. All across the area, shop here first.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
I'm Kim Bourne, CEO of Taylorville Memorial Hospital, and we're hiring experienced nurses to join our great team. Learn more by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
We are back on the WTIM Morning Show with Matt Hart, Executive Director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation. Before we move, thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We talked last segment with Matt Hart about his site selector meeting in Chicago, some big takeaways there. And now the Economic Incentives Workshop coming back to Christian County. We are very happy because it was a pretty successful one last time.
Yeah, so we did this earlier this year in January. The Christian County EDC, along with the Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, co-hosted a business incentives workshop. Very, very successful. I think we had over 30 people register for that event. So we're going to do it again in November. We're going to do Thursday, November 7th, and this will be at 10 a.m. And it'll be at the CCEDC office and the Taylorville Chamber office. We're both on the second floor at 108 West Market Street. But folks can come out. We got Steve Klein, who's an attorney, who's going to be our speaker. And Steve is just an absolute wealth of knowledge, an absolute guru, excuse me, on economic incentives. And they not only they're on contract with the city of Taylorville to help them with their business incentives, but they do work all over the state. So he's very experienced in any sort of business and how you can utilize, whether it's a TIF district, business development district, or enterprise zone benefits, which are three big benefits. And a lot of people don't know, first of all, there's a lot of people don't know we have these incentives. They don't know where they're located in the city of Taylorville or throughout the county. A lot of people don't know we've got a TIF district in Taylorville. Obviously, we've got one in Pana. We have one in Stonington. We have one in Assumption. And a lot of people don't know that. So we'll be educating people on where those TIF districts are, the enterprise zone, where it is, that recently changed, and then the business development districts, both in Pana and in Taylorville, and how you can utilize that. That's all going, and that's open to the public. If you're a developer, if you're a builder, if you sell building material, I highly encourage you to attend that. That's Thursday, November 7th at 10 a.m.
Awesome. Folks that went to the January Economic Incentives Workshop, can they benefit from going to this one, or is this more for people that haven't been out to these yet?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great refresher, or if you need just some more detail or want to just come and talk to Steve Klein, our attorney, it's worth a loan just to come and see Steve Klein, because he is an attorney who specializes in this all across the state. And we're lucky to have him, working for the city of Taylorville here as well. But it'll be great to come out and learn. If you're thinking about building, if you're thinking about remodeling, if you're thinking about developing at all in Christian County, come on out to this meeting. It's 10 a.m. November 7th. There's no cost. All we ask you to do is just let us know ahead of time, so make sure we've got space. But call us at 217-565-2280 or email us at info@christiancountyedc.com.
Perfect. Really get all your questions answered at this one, and then from the real experts on it. Food at this incentives workshop for us.
We're going to have some coffee and
Cool.
some donuts.
Okay.
But it's kind of the middle of the day, so it won't be a full luncheon. But we will have we'll make sure you got some coffee.
Awesome. Let's talk some developments across Christian County here. We are some things we can really see as we're driving out. Let's talk Sloan's. You're already seeing that shell pop up out there.
Yeah, if you've driven between Taylorville and Edinburgh, you're going to see the Sloan. And last week they finished the foundation, but the steel is up now. So they've got the steel ribbing, if you will, that's up. And then, of course, the roof and the siding will come along that, and hopefully they'll get that dried in and can work on that all winter. But what an exciting gem being built right here in Christian County.
Yeah.
30,000 square foot John Deere dealership. It doesn't get any more American. It doesn't get any more Illinois. It doesn't get any more Christian County than Sloan Implement and John Deere and their new dealership. And it's located just south of Edinburgh, between Edinburgh and Taylorville. You'll see it on the west side of Route 29, but really excited about that. As an economic developer, I'm also excited because this gives us more availability of spaces in Christian County, because we just don't have a whole lot of available spaces when we have people come to us and they want to 80% of the time when someone comes to us and wants to move their business, they're looking for an existing building. So the good thing is we don't have a high vacancy rate. The bad news is I don't have a whole lot of properties to show, but this is going to just adds to our inventory of available businesses here in Christian County. It's a really exciting time to be building in Christian County.
It really is. More building projects as you are exiting at Taylorville. You see Starbucks coming together out there.
Starbucks is coming together. That's going to open up, we know, in 2025. That's again a great development. And then across the street, folks may notice now they've started construction on the Papa John's. Yes. Papa John's is going in. There's the strip center just south of the Walmart building, between Scooters and the Walmart. But on the south end of that, the building there, I talked to the guy who manages that property. They were waiting on permits, but they've got to install a drive-through. So that's what's going on right now is the installation of that drive-through that's going to be going on at the Papa John's. But that's across the street from Starbucks. So and don't forget, we got great stuff going on in Pana as well. We've got Gaucho's Steakhouse is under construction, another great project going on in Pana. And then over in Assumption, we've got a new neighborhood going in. We've got a daycare that's opening up this fall. So a lot of exciting things going on all over the county.
Absolutely. It's just cool to hear a new neighborhood is coming into any given city around here, and especially in Assumption. Just spoke with Kemmerer Village, and then they're really going to benefit from the daycare and the neighborhood. These are all really working well together. Before we have to go, Jack's on Main on the Taylorville Square. What's any developments happening there?
Yeah, so they've got more concrete poured into the sidings up, and they're working on Jack's on Main. Hopefully, again, they'll get that all dried in for the winter so they can finish all the detail work on the inside. That's going to be another gem overlooking the county courthouse, which also that entire area around the courthouse and everything around there is slated for the major improvements there on the street sidewalks and the grant that the city of Taylorville got. They've actually applied for another grant. We've sent some letters of encouragement for that as well, for hopefully an additional $3 million to help improve the already vibrant downtown square in Christian County.
Amazing. Matt Hart, this has all been great. Where can people go out there for more information?
Yeah, you can always go to our website, EDC, ChristianCountyEDC.com. You can call us anytime at 217-565-2280, or you can always email me at info@ChristianCountyEDC.com.
Just awesome. Matt Hart, thank you for taking the time being here with us today.
My pleasure.
Matt Hart, Executive Director of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation, back here on our WTIM morning show, getting us informed and a whole lot of great successes and things happening across Christian County. You've been listening to the WTIM morning show.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington.